How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, time to get that imagination all cranked up, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from the wonderful, amazing, and super talented Frank Cho. And if you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He is a phenomenal draftsman and a really imaginative and seems very playful in his work as well. You can just see the beauty of his draftsmanship here. It's like every line is perfectly crafted to where it needs to go, like a blending of shoot, I can't think of his name. It kind of feels Alphonse Mucha in a lot of his work, and kind of like there's a mix of Alex Ross or Carrie Nord in there too. Just gorgeous stylings. I love his sensibilities. Everything always has a little hint of mischievousness or whimsy to his work too. You can really feel that come across in or his personality come across in his work too, that there's just that sense of playfulness there too. But again, gorgeous draftsmanship. Everything seems to just be perfectly crafted throughout all of his work, and I'm one of those artists that when I look at it, I'm like, oh, I still have a long way to go before I'm ever anywhere near the level that he's at. But I really love everything that comes with this piece, especially you've got a nice flow throughout it, just this whole line that and it goes through the tail as well. There's just a nice compositional line of action, as well as just great posing and great silhouettes throughout as well. So I urge you guys to check out more of his stuff. I think he is phenomenal. I can't say enough amazing things about this artist in particular. And I did want to share a quote that I was able to find from him that I thought was well, it was thought-provoking for me, and maybe you guys will find it the same way too. And he said, "Some ideas come out fully formed, and some ideas come out in fragments." And I find that so true in my work, and it's kind of going to be evident in what we do today as well, is that sometimes you just have to start somewhere, and other times you'll have this whole thing all poured out in your mind, and you know exactly where you're going to go and how it's going to all work, and it just comes. But other times it's going to take a little bit of a struggle, and you know, well, I don't know exactly where this is going to go, but I know where to start. So you just start there. Or I know how the middle is, so I'm going to start at the middle and then work from there and work around it. I think the idea is just really to never give up, you know? To take that grain of knowledge that you have, or that hint of an idea that you have, and work it until it comes into something. And don't just wait around for those fully formed ideas, but when you do have those fully formed ideas, make sure you get them out, because those a lot of times tend to be the ones that are strongest as well. So let's go ahead and get into some animation. We're using the Wolfdog rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at Creative Crash. I haven't really fully given up on or stopped working on that secret password shot, but I wanted a little bit of a break, and we might revisit that one in a couple days, or I might just hold off on it for a while and come take a look at it in another couple weeks or so, just see what I like or didn't like. I needed a fresh thing to work on with you guys today. So we're going to be using this rig, and I also am going to be using the Goon rig from How to Cheat in Maya series. Let's go ahead and import that in here right now. So we'll just go to File, and we'll go to Import, and I'm just going to pause the broadcast because it takes a second to load here. Okay, so we've got him imported in here. Now, in this case, what I want to do here is scale him down to probably maybe even a little bit smaller than this. Let's go like 0.3, maybe 0.35, something like that, because we're going to have him writing on here. I thought that would be kind of fun. Do kind of a beast run is the main idea, so we'll have him do like a run and jump, and it'll be fluid throughout the whole movement. We won't really do a ton of really acting beats here, but more about the movement itself. I thought that would just be a fun breakup with what we've been doing, and plus we'd get to play with a couple characters here. So that's kind of the idea. So let's start getting this set up. Again, for more information on all the stuff we've talked about, we are using Autodesk Maya 2014. For all the links, check out the description down below, and let's go ahead and get playing. And then just because I haven't mentioned it so far yet in this video, the main reason why I do these each and every day is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go out and create your own unique, amazing content. And feel free to share it back here as well all the time, because I want to see the amazing stuff you come up with each and every day, and hopefully share some knowledge if you guys are just starting out, or at least some encouragement if you guys are way further along than I am, which I'm always happy to learn from you guys as well, which I tend to do quite often as well. So comments down below are always welcome, and feel free to use that section to share your own work with everyone else in the community here. So again, we're just kind of setting up our main pose. So like I said, the main idea behind this one, and this is going to be pretty close to relevant to what we were talking about before, is that this one is a little bit fragmented, this idea. I don't have it fully formed, but I have a pretty good idea with where we're going to go with this. So it's going to be kind of implementation of that idea that we started off talking about here. So we'll go ahead and bring that back a little bit more. And we're just setting up our default posing here. So we're going to do like a run and a jump off of a little cliff, and then continue and run off screen is going to be the main gist of this shot here together. And I think I've used this Wolfdog once before, but it was a long time ago and it was a short little shot, so it's kind of like a new rig again to me, because I haven't used it in quite some time, and I've never used it that much. So again, we just want to kind of get a rough idea of our shot. We'll probably spend a few days on this, I'm thinking. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, it's not a fully formed idea just yet. So let's just start getting ourselves a little more. I think I might even make him a little bit smaller. I think this is still a little big. I want the wolf to feel really big, so I think I'll make him, let's say, like 0.33, 0.31. Let's meet in the middle here and do 0.32. Let's try 0.315. There we go. I feel like that's about right here. Bring that up a little bit more. Get that knee twist so it's out there. And we'll get our parenting all set up here. This is just going to be a real rough idea pass. I don't even know how much animation we're going to be getting into so much for this one. More just laying out our shot, figuring out how we want to approach this, kind of looking at a rough timing, about how many frames it's going to be. I don't know where we'll have him really grab on. Maybe that tuft of fur there. And let's go ahead and bring that down, bring that up here a little bit, rotate that up here, bring it down a little bit more, that down a little bit more. Let's just drop the whole thing here. And let's look at the neck. How do we want to approach this neck here? Rotate it up a little bit. Bring that head down. And maybe rotate this over a little bit more like that. Bring these feet in a little bit. Get this tail curved up a little bit more here. Just trying to get a place for us to start with here, so we have something semi-decent. And let's see, I want them to look a little bit more focused. So let's get eyebrows, let's see, down a little bit more. let's focus these down a little bit more here. Yeah, let's look at the cheeks. How do we want to do the cheeks here? Yeah, kind of like that. Lips. We'll do something a little more like this. Maybe a little bit of growl in there. Just a little bit. Keep tweaking this a little bit more. Let's go something like that. And we'll bring this foot back a little bit here. Get the paw roll. Just don't like how that looks so much here. But this heel shift, is that going to do it? I don't like that squaring off there so much. Let's see. You have something like that. It's got to be a controller for it. I think it would be heel shift. Let's see. These are our knee controllers, probably, right? No? Alright, let's try these ones. It's more of like an elbow here. Alright, I guess we'll have to just work with it here. I might tweak with that later, but we gotta start somewhere here. I guess we could just leave it. It's okay. It's not perfect, but go in a little bit more here. And let's loosen these up a little bit. Do each one individually here. Down a little bit more. Let's maybe even pull him in a little bit more pulled in. And let's drop those shoulders. Push him forward a little bit. Drop that head or neck down a little bit and the head up a little bit more. Maybe we'll roll it back a little bit more. So you can bring that neck down a little bit. Bring that back a little bit more. And we'll just bring the chest down a little bit. Okay. And let's look at the hand. Try to make it look like he's grabbing the fur. Again, that'll probably not read as nice as we can, but I think we'll try to make do here. So we'll just intersect the geometry a little bit. Just want to look like he's actually grabbing onto something. Roll it a little bit here. Look at that thumb. workable. It's not perfect yet, and I'm sure we'll tweak this stuff as we go, but we gotta start somewhere. How are we doing on time? Oof, already a lot of time went through on just building this stuff up. That's okay though. Keep going, and we'll rotate this one a little bit more here, and bring it down a little bit there. And again, we'll look at those fingers. Intersection, just because this would be if we had like a lighting and fur team or whatever, they would go through and build a fur layer on top of this and stuff, so it gives us something to go with. And let's look at the face as well here. Where's his eyes? Bring those down here, over, go ahead and get that jaw, push it forward a little bit, rotate it. Oh, sorry about that. The sound on the other computer off there. Bring that down a little bit. Those eyebrows down. Make them feel a little more focused here. Or intense there. And bring this down a little bit more. We'll try and get those pupils in there if we can. Maybe bring them towards there a little bit more, and maybe bring those eyelids up a little bit as well. Give them a little bit of a smirk. I always like to have a little bit of a smirk in there. Bring that lip up a little bit. Bring that lower lip a little bit more down, something like that. Go a little bit more up here, and a little bit of decompression there, just so we get a little bit of more asymmetry in the face here. Alright, is that an okay place for us to start? I think so. I'd probably drop that shoulder a little bit more. Drop it. There we go. I'll have to bring this out a little bit more here. Okay, I think we've got an okay place to start, so let's go ahead and save our file here. Just gonna pop. And remember, it's good to save multiple versions and to save often. So we will just call this one 1B. Save that, and it's nice actually not using the other rig in the audio file, because I think the audio should come across a little bit less laggy, which is nice, and I don't have as much lag while I'm creating all this stuff, which is a blessing here. So we'll go ahead and create a locator, and we'll go ahead and plant that locator pretty much right in the middle there, and we'll grab our root controller for our Goon rig, and we'll go to Window Outliner and Show All, and we'll again grab that, control click the locator and hit P on the keyboard to parent those, and then the locator, and we'll grab this back pretty much root controller of the Wolfdog character, and we'll press P, and that should parent both of these together. Okay, great. So that's where we started from. Alright, and we'll close the outliner again. And let's see. A little bit of lag now. Oh well. So I think that's a fairly good place to start actually doing some movement here now that we've got a main pose that we can work with. So we'll set everything here. And we'll get started. So how do we want to do this? This would be go about 5 and bring that back. actually start with... Yeah, let's just go somewhere here. Gotta push this forward. And these will be back. This would be probably a little bit more forward, up, nose, knees, bring the knees with us here. Would be almost about like this. And these guys would be up and over and down a little bit. Okay. Those are there. Let's go to 10. And again, I'm not getting the timing totally yet. I'm just trying to figure out how I want this cycle to work, really. And it's not a cycle. We're going to do the actual movement throughout the screen here, too. So it's just about figuring out how that's going to work for us. And again, get those knees forward here. Would be almost on the ground here. The rotation up. And these would be off the ground here. And drag a little bit there. Frames later, and those would be a little bit more forward and dropped on the ground, and rotate it down, and this would be up and over and out, and that would be down and over. Up. And let's get those feet up a little bit more. This might even have a little bit of... we'll not worry about that just yet. I'm just trying to get the basics here. So this should probably start more with the feet up like this, right? Yeah, let's start more like this. Right, and then flat on. We'll start mid-run. It'll be a little bit easier to do. So we're just kind of, again, getting our positioning with the feet and the hips working. So I'll start there. And we'll go ahead and delete that one. And take this and bring that back to 5. So we'll go Window, Animation Editors, Graph Editor. Bring all this stuff back to 5 here. We're going to get those knees working for us again. More, and this would be what frame are we at? 7. We'll go to 10 here. We'll drop them down and push them forward a little bit more. Bring this forward, up. Feet up here, and we'll rotate that down there. Get our rotation zeroed out there. And rotate those back, and lift that up a little bit more, forward. Should be further forward as well, everything here. Let's see. Probably even a little more forward than that. Get those knees further. So I'll set everything there. And we'll have to go through and really balance this out a little bit better, but we'll just keep going for now. Just trying to get all the main points here. So we've got 5 frames to get from there, 2 frames to get there, 3 frames to there, so 5 frames again, and we'll get a pose that's similar to that one. So get these feet, and we'll bring those knees with us. Down, and rotate them up here. Hip here. Knees forward, and we need to get these feet up a little bit here. Hold on, I gotta take a couple steps back. Let's go to 15, bring this forward here. Quadruped run cycles are always fun. With cycles you can, just come up with kind of a formula. But if you want to get it from here to there and make it look right, you kind of can't really go off of a formula too much. So let's get those feet up here. Set them there. Here we'll go ahead and bring them forward and up, drag them back. And I'm sure we'll get this, tweak all this stuff in a bit too. This one compared to that one. We want this to be down further and Now, how I want this to feel is to go from there, once it gets to, let's say, maybe one more run step like that. Maybe two more. Before I go any further, let's go ahead and create polygon primitives cube here. Bring that over, bring that down there, and then we'll go ahead and create another one. It's a little bit longer, and we'll bring this down here, a little bit further down there, and we'll assign a new material onto that one, do a Lambert, and we'll switch that to being like white, and we'll assign a new material onto this one, we'll put a Lambert on there, we'll make that white too, and let's see, let's make this a little bit wider, same with this one, and a little bit further back. Let's see, hold on, a couple steps back. Let's create another polygon primitives cube here, bring that one over, up, bring it down, over, a little bigger, assign a new material, put a Lambert on there, make this like a blue for the sky here, like that, and we'll go ahead and make this a little bit longer here, bring it back a little bit, this a little bit wider, and long as well, and then that angle we're going to be going for something probably about like that. Maybe zoom in a little bit closer. Bring it back a little bit more. Let's see. Something kind of like this. I think it's going to be where we want. So let's go ahead and create a new camera here so we can go back to that one. Anyways, just give us kind of an idea of where we're going to go here. And let's just do a quick play blast and just see if this is even looking anywhere near remotely right how we want to approach it. Alright, like I said, it's still really rough. I just wanted to see if I was kind of in the ballpark here, but that's fine. And let's go back actually and look at it from a perspective window, because I was thinking it would be, I want it to be a little bit lower down, something probably like that. And let's do a play blast for me. It's okay, but I think it needs to be a little bit, this needs to be a little bit higher. Bring it up a little bit more. And I want more of a background over here too, so let's go back to our other perspective window, and we'll copy this one, and paste another one, bring that over, rotate it in, what's that, Y, bring that back here, just so we have a better background here, and let's look back at it from our original camera angle, which is going to be something like this. I feel like that needs to be further away. Way far off in the distance here. And this one too. So a wider scope here. Maybe rotate that a little bit as well. And maybe give us a little more angle here. Push that back over there. And back here. And maybe a little less rotate here. still get a fairly decent seam there. Go back to our camera angle here. Let's see. And this needs to extend all the way out. And have kind of a long shot there. And push it over a little bit more too. Alright, that can work for now. Let's get back into doing some more animating here. So let's make sure we're still recording. Great. And go back to perspective 1 here and try and remember where we were at. Okay, so let's go ahead and again, just really doing the feet and the hips for right now. Make sure we set that. I'm going to create a new camera here real quick. That one was getting all bogged down. Okay. Just delete that one for right now. Okay, let's go back to the feet and the hips. I'm getting this thing started here. So I'll set that one and set that. And then what's our next key gonna be? The one with these feet being planted on the ground. The rotate out. Push them a little bit further forward. And get these feet out and up. This one over a little bit more. Over a little bit more. Gotta get those knees pushed forward. Those knees are driving me crazy. Bring those over like that. Should I do it again? Keep doing this thing. Driving me crazy today. Okay. So we got where we're at. No, I have to go back. Okay. Keep overwriting on the same frame. We need to go a few frames further. So what did we do that there? That was 5 there. And then we had 7 was our next one. So 2 frames later. Alright, get your timing right, kid. Drop that down. Zero those out. Push that forward a little bit more. And bring these guys. You get to see the good, the bad, the ugly, all the fun stuff. And bring this forward. Get those knees. That's why I wanted to do this, so that you guys can see that all the things that you probably get frustrated with yourself, everybody goes through this stuff. Okay, bring that forward a little bit more. Bring that up a little bit. Rotate those feet out. Bring that down, over, up a little bit. Let's compare that to that one. Oh, it should be over. A bit more, nice stretch there. Those feet out here. Okay. And then I think it was, what, 3 frames later was going to be our next one. And again, the timing will probably change on all this stuff, but we'll get there. Let's go with just the feet and the hips for right now. Bring that forward. And drop these down. Bring that forward here. Bring it up. Rotate it down. Up a little bit higher. Over a little bit more. Rotate it down a little bit. And these could probably be a little bit further forward here. And grab our feet here, up and over. And we'll rotate them back so there's a little bit of drag there. Bring those knees forward with us here. Needs to be forward a bit more. bit more. These guys up a little bit more. Bring that down a little bit more here. Bring these knees forward a little bit. Okay. So let's see how this is feeling. There's a little bit of a spacing thing there, isn't there? Alright, we'll get into it, but I'm just trying to get the main posing here. 2 more steps here. Let's see. Set that, and what do we have? I think we had 5 frames in that section for right now. I'm trying to keep it the similar timing. We might tweak it up later, but we'll go here. So 5 frames later, it's gonna be these are forward here, somewhere in that area. Bring those knees forward, bring the hip forward, bring the hip down, rotate it up, down a little bit more. These feet would still be on the ground there, but now they'd be up, over with some drag back. Let's look back here. These feet be down, over, rotate them up. Leave them on the ground there. No, they're still in. We need to have that up position so that we get. So it's actually a run and not a walk. Got to make sure you have one position, at least a couple frames with everything's up in the air here. And let's bring that down a little bit more. And a little bit up, kind of like that. Let's kind of compare it to our other frame we had here. That one versus that one. Similar. All right. Go from there. So again, we just want to kind of grab our feet here and lock them in. And then we had 3 frames later, which would be our 2 frames later, which would be our plant. So go here, 2 frames from there, be a little bit more forward. Drop them down on the ground, flatten them out. These ones would be forward and up, and bring this forward here, down a little bit more. Get those knees. I swear these knees are the bane of my existence today. Where can we grab those controllers easily? Okay. Bring them down and over. And bring these guys there. Feet up. This down a little bit more. Over a little bit more. It's supposed to be 3 frames there, though. So that should be 1 frame later. I'm just trying to keep with a timing that's kind of universal here so it feels even throughout. Bring that back a frame there. Okay. And again, we'll just lock in everything here. this one, and then the next one was what? 3 frames later after that. So it is 2 frames. Okay. Alright, so let's push this back to 2 frames here. Bring this one back here. Yeah, bring this one back. Alright. 2 frames there, 3 frames to the next one. Alright, now this one, this would be over, dropping down, flat them out, bring this over and up, rotate it down, over a little bit more, bring this over a little bit more, pain in the butt knees, let's bring those over. Over and back, rotate that out, bring this up, over, what did I not do here? Something like that. This needs to be forward more. Let's see. A little bit more. A little bit more. Let's look at how we're doing for our camera here. Okay, and then we have pretty much one more, and then we go into the jump, right? Okay. So we have all of this, and then we go 5 frames later. From here, right, would be our next one. Let's bring that forward, and those down, over. Get those knees working here. This down, over, rotate it up a little bit more. Get these feet forward. Get these feet up, over, dragging a little bit. Ones might be a little too far forward. Bring that over, up a little bit more, down a little bit more here too. Alright, these knees not showing up again. Yeah, these needs to be a little bit lower. Still something a little off on that one for some reason. And bring that back to over there. Delete this one. Rotate these up a little bit more. 2 frames later, and flatten them out, drop them down, move them forward a little bit. How are we doing on time for this thing? Oof, we're almost hitting our time already. We still have plenty to do with this one. Yeah, this is going to take us a while. That's alright though. And then these are going to be forward and up. I want to get at least to the edge here, so we'll try and get that worked through here. Bring this over there. Find those knee controllers again. Forward and down a little bit. And grab both of those feet and bring them forward, up. And bring that over, up a little bit more. These guys stretch out forward. Okay, and then it'll be 3 frames after that. Flatten them out, rotate them down, bring this over, up, and rotate it down here, and bring these guys up in the air and forward, drag them back. Knees forward. I'm sure this is going to need to be pushed further forward as well. Up a little bit more. Over. And down a little bit. These guys can come forward a little bit more here. Back a little bit. And we're going to go up a little bit higher here. And again, we need to go further. There. So push that further here. More. And touch more here. Alright. Set those ones. Set those ones, and then we'll go 5 frames further. And bring this forward, down, over, and rotate it up. Bring those knees with me. Again, forward here, that hip, forward, there, grab these feet, bring them up, over, drag them back, and these ones should probably come in a little bit more, down a little bit, this will go over, up here. Too much up. Make sure we just have the feet, not the background here selected. Bring that down. It's fine, maybe a little more rotate up. To our next one here, and we want to set all of those, and then it was what, 2 frames from there, I think. Yeah, 2 frames later, it's going to be our next one. So these guys are going to be a little more forward, flatten them out, drop them down, and these guys are going to go all the way forward, reaching up, bring this forward, down, up a little bit more. Okay, that's fine. And then 3 frames from that, so it's going to be 50. And this one we're going to want to pull it really far down. Good job, because this is going to have to be a little bit different. It's going to be right at the edge here. Really go low down here. Kind of anticipate everything here. And bring these feet over here, back, over, drag them up, bring these forward, maybe a little too low. This a little bit further, like that, so we can get all this stuff moved a little bit more forward. Get it pretty close to right on the edge there, though. Let's see. Might be a little too far. I'll bring that back just a little bit. Let's go like 5. 5.1. Yeah, sorry. Alright, and maybe we'll kind of end it from there because yeah, we're hitting about our time. Let's do a quick little play blast from our camera angle and just see how we're looking. Again, it's real rough here, but just trying to get a lot of the information for how we're going to build this here. Okay, again, it's real rough. It's just kind of nuts and bolts, and I think I'm going to tweak the timing here before we end for the day because it's a little too start and stoppy. So let's do that real quick before. So we're going to take what we have on those 5s and put those probably on 3s. So turn our curves back, make sure we have everything selected, and when we have 5 frames, we're just going to make that 3 frames. So we're going to put it on 3 instead of on 5 there. So we're going to push that, all this stuff here, so it's on. Right. No, hold on. Alright. Let's go ahead and, just for right now, I'm going to get rid of these ones here. Just on these front feet, just so I can retime some of this stuff. I can easily see where we have our 5 gaps. I'll have to go back in and retweak that. Okay, now we have our easy 5 gaps, so we can switch those in. Okay. I don't want to double up on any keys here, so again, we're going to get 2 frames out of there. And same here, get rid of 2 frames there. Get rid of 2 frames here. And again, we'll still have to do a lot of tweaking here because there's still a little stuttery in here, but we've got a lot of the information, which is great. And we'll cut this at about 40 frames right now. So let's go back to our other perspective here and change it. Oh well, whatever. See just a hint of that. That's what we're kind of looking for. All right, and we'll do another play blast and see how that. All right, great. That's a lot better for our timing. And again, timing is something that you just kind of play around with until it feels right. And we have tons of work to do on this thing, but at least we've got that first bulk of information in there. So this is probably only going to be about maybe 90 frames for the whole shot, but it's going to have a lot of info in here because we're going to have to get the whole other character working and everything. But let's go ahead and take a look back at where we started. We were looking at the gorgeous work of Frank Cho, and he said, some ideas come out fully formed and some ideas come out in fragments. So don't worry if you kind of have, I guess, that artist block. Just try to have some sort of a spark and do whatever you can to get in front of the art desk or in front of your instrument if you're a musician, or in front of the computer if you're a coder, or in front of some clay if you're a sculptor, or whatever it is. Sometimes you just have to get in the mindset and you let the ideas come out. And other times you're going to have these fully fledged ideas and they're just like, this is the idea, it's killer, it's awesome, it's ready to go, it's fully done, I know from start to finish how it's going to work. But other times I know it's just about getting those muscle memories working and then seeing where it takes you. So thanks for hanging out with me. We still have a lot to do on this shot, but I think it's going to be a fun one and definitely something different. Thanks for bearing with me with dealing with those knees today. For some reason those were driving me nuts, but I think we have a lot of fun that we can have together with this one. So I look forward to sharing some more time with you, and thanks for sharing some time with me today. I love you guys lots. I hope you carved out a little bit of your day to work on your own dreams, and I think we'll wrap it up for today. So we'll work on this one some more tomorrow, and we will see you for some more animation, some more imagination, some more creativity, and some just having fun and learning and growing together throughout all the successes and all the missteps, and enjoying the ride. You guys are amazing. I love you lots. We'll see you tomorrow.